Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. When I got back here to the flood, it did the peak. I must have been here at the peak of the flood yesterday, thank goodness. And the water level never got above those where it was when I stopped filming yesterday. When I got back with pallets, and basically the water level looked like it was starting to come down, and so everything looks pretty good actually. I've been taking the honey supers off these nucs, looked in the frames, and it's actually only the bottom 2 or 3 cells in these lowest hives that it actually got wet. So to all intents and purposes, the bees have not been affected at all, except the bottom boards are soaked. And so that'll just take a little bit of drying, but especially now, given that I'm taking the honey supers off and the bees are relatively compact in the hives, there's going to be enough bees to tidy things up and make things dry as anything. The other good news is that the brood chambers have a fair amount of honey in them already, and so they have been consolidating. I'm taking a lot of empty honey supers off, and that means that the bees are taking what honey was in those honey supers, like these ones here, and moved it down into the brood chambers, which is actually at this time of year where I want it. I don't want to be extracting supers with 5 and 10 pounds in it. I'd rather that go into the brood chamber, and the bees have already done that. So these supers have nothing, if maybe a pound or 2 in their tops, but they've taken that down into the brood chambers, which is excellent. I would say the top supers in these taller hives here are roughly are almost all pretty empty. 1 or 2 of them are stuffed with honey. But some hives did exceptionally well. Again, these double nucs at the top, the deep on top of them are full of honey. I'm taking 60 pounds of honey off at a time on those, plus whatever is in the super above, and there may be multiple supers above. So for instance, this double nuc here, this super is full. This super is got quite a bit in it, so I'll probably be getting close to 100 pounds off this double nuc. And I've had a few double nucs like that one there. I've taken off about 100 pounds. The one in the corner I've taken off about 100 pounds. Others not quite so much. And 1 or 2 of them where this other side of the nuc didn't actually survive. So on this nuc here, its pairing didn't survive, so it was totally empty. And I've known that for months actually, that no bees going in and out. And likewise in this pair here, one side didn't survive, but they'd actually expanded into the yellow one from the green one. So I'm going to consolidate that into a single deep, because I've got about 8 drawn combs there, and I'll put them together. Otherwise, we got away luckily with the flooding. I'm sorry I didn't put that on last night's video. Anyway, I got off with a warning. So with the spare pallets here, what I want to do before, when all the honey supers are off, I will reposition colonies so that they're on at least 2 pallets high underneath, because I dare say that in the spring we run the risk of ice jams in that exit there and water running over the road again. And I know now that if I have 1 pallet, which will make it about 6 inches higher off the ground, then these bees should be in pretty good shape. Anyway, I'm pleased with that. So I'm taking the honey off before I have too much robbing going on. I've got bees already trying to get in the truck, some bees trying to get out. As you can see, I've got some deep supers there with lots of honey in them, and there's more back there. So anyway, I'm gonna get this job done. More later. Well, got the honey off, and there's quite a bit of robbing going on, so I have to hurry up. This is quite a bit of 700-800 pounds of honey in here, I guess, and I've got another 100 or so to come off, but it's already off. All the hives have had the honey off now, so I've got to take this honey away and then set up the feeders. That is plenty for now. Very grateful that the flooding didn't cause any significant problem, and these bees will be great for the winter. I was a bit worried about all sorts of brood loss and associated stress diseases then, but no problem. Right, taking the honey supers back. Been home for lunch. Now I'll come back and get these feeds on and tidy up the yard somewhat. Good, the nucs. Got quite a bit of weight to them. So they're good 25-30 pounds. Got them up to about 50. So a couple of things of sugar, a couple of gallons of sugar syrup, and they should be good. Well, that's enough. It's been a long day, but this yard is done, fed. The nucs are actually in great shape. They each weigh about 30-35 pounds, so they only need another couple of gallons of sugar syrup, so that should be no problem at all over the next two weeks, maybe 3. The bigger hives are also in pretty good shape, so flood was not a problem. It was a shot across the bows. I've put the colonies that are most at risk onto a double pallet, and that would have kept them high and dry. So for now, I think that's it. I'm going to go back home and have a cup of tea. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.